Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Genshin Impact. It is so fantastic to see you. Welcome back to Genshin. We got our boy Xiao, and oh my god, am I loving every minute of playing him. And honestly, it's just crazy. This is not gonna be one of those videos where it's just like he's fucking broken. He's good with significantly less. But I don't think he's going to be one of the strongest characters in the game even, because I think more characters, they need more specific things to be like infinitely good, you know what I mean? But Xiao is kind of just good with kind of anything, which is what makes him really good. Anyways, the reason why I'm kind of like just taken aback is because I got Xiao, and in the last Monday, right before I wished for him, I got a couple more gladiator sets that actually helped round out, to some extent, my build. They had a couple crit rates on them. I rolled them and they kept going into crit rates, so I had a couple good artifacts. They're still not maxed out or anything like that. But also at the same time, and I think this is the main thing that I'm feeling, I got a 5-star polearm. It's the special, like, bluish animo gold one. It's not special, it's not Xiao's special one. But also it gives you attack speed, and I think it's just good for everybody. It's good for Zhongli if I want to use him, and yeah. Anyways, so yeah, let's get by the way, ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, we are going to be going over Xiao, all of the nitty-gritty things that has come out in the last couple weeks, as well as my thoughts on him, his kit, everything, just kind of a character overview, and now things that we know, rather than things that we were kind of speculating about. My Xiao is not 100% built yet, because this is like my main character, even though I know Hu Tao is coming out, and we still have Chi-Chi right around the corner. No, Ka-Ching right around the corner. I still am not choosing them, so I'm just going to be investing in Xiao, so there'll be a couple more parts of this, but for right now, this is the beginner part of me having built him. Let's get into it.
Those memories, so dark.
Okay, let's start with that. So Xiao came out with this amazing kind of like trailer that showcased 7 other, or not 7, sorry, it was like 4 or 5 other kind of people, and Xiao was a part of this group, and some of them went mental, some of them went and became corrupted, others just left. Others betrayed each other, that kind of thing. Well, the cool thing is, someone on our Discord actually pointed this out, but basically each one of Xiao's kind of clothing / garb is kind of reminiscent from his 4 yakshas, the 4 yakshas, I think. So to me, that's really endearing and really cool. He's got like that purple kind of loincloth kind of thing. That's to signify the one guy. He's got the fire person that his like front loincloth kind of has a flame there. That's kind of like what she has on her kit. His boots, you can't really see them, but they look like the Geo Archon kind of guy's boots. And yeah, and everything. Also, his hair looks like that has that blue streak in it, which is the same as the other person. The one lady, as well as his left arm gauntlet, kind of does look like I think it's Genyu's mom, but in the trailer that's what the person is. Regardless, that's just really interesting. That maybe his whole character design is kind of like him having maybe had to kill those yakshas or lose his friends, and he keeps it like their memorabilia on him to almost keep their memory alive. I think that's fantastically wonderful. Anywho, let's get into stats, and this is the thing. Again, the reason why I'm so confounded at the beginning of the video, I was kind of like, oh, and that's because I am killing things faster than I've ever killed things, and I was rocking Max Constellation Razor, but I kept getting shit on by the game, and it was just never dropping this resource for me, ever. It continues. I keep farming the weekly bosses every week, continue not to get this one. But for whatever reason, I kept getting Xiao's, as well as Genyu's, as well as some of the other new characters, which is this weird Shadow of the Warrior. I kept getting these week after week after week, back when they weren't even any characters that could consume them that we were aware of. So yeah, it was pretty shitty. But I did some research and I found out that Xiao needed this, so that's why I wished for Xiao. It's because I have like 11 at these at the start. And you guys may be like, well, Grin, why aren't you leveling up this talent or even this talent? Are they not good? And why is this talent maxed out? Well, we'll get into it, but basically, I'm already killing things so fast that it kind of feels weird. Like it feels to the point where I'm just kind of like, I mean, like, it's the difference between one-shotting something or double jumping and smashing something 3 times and then killing something, which is the difference of like 6 minutes, or 6 seconds, sorry, opposed to 1 second. But I kind of like the 6 seconds of like just floating around and everything's just getting eviscerated rather than it just being like smash. All right, I'm out. Peace. I have like 15 seconds more on my cooldown or my duration. Fuck it. I guess I'll cancel it because I'm dying. So it's just like a weird thing. So I want to increase my world level after we level up Xiao to this max point. And then I think we'll be done for a while. I'll be at world level 7, and I think Xiao can very much chew through just about anything. Let's get into all that is Xiao. Okay, so first things first, I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about him this coming week, so we're not going to dote on things too much. But there are some things that actually kind of matter. And one of those things are that these multipliers look weird, but they're actually pretty fantastic if you're going to build him in the way that you're already going to be building him. So, if you're going to be building Xiao, the best build is to be plunge damage. Even though I think there could be some fun things where, like, if you're using like the spear that I have that increases your attack speed, and you're running Xinqiu and you're just doing your auto attacks for melee, Xiao has an incredibly fast melee speed, and he hits things like 6 times fast as shit, so it's just like, done. So if you have any character like Baido or Xinqiu, whose ults proc off of enemies hit causes this reaction, Xiao I think can make use of that better than most people. I also think Zhongli can massively make use of that as well. Anyways, so I think that's another way you could play him, but generally speaking, the thing that's kind of interesting is that in order to bank on his like substats being really good, people are going to go for less of crit rate and more of crit damage. The reason why you're going for less of crit rate is because Xiao comes in with built-in crit rate at around 24, I think, % when you get him all the way to 90. It just says 50 there because it takes your base amount of crit rate and adds its multiplier to it, or adds its buff to it. So yeah, that's huge. So you want enough crit rate to probably have around 50 to 60 to 70 on the high end crit rate. But the main thing you're going to want is crit damage. Now the funny thing is that crit damage, that's like this is like every end tier build. Even if they're like, hey, you should build for defense because it scales off of that, it's typically not as good as just building shit tons of crit damage, and then everything else can be whatever. And Xiao is no different. In fact, the cool thing about Xiao though is even if you do that, if you have a decent crit rate and a decent crit damage, these multipliers, even though I don't have them that leveled up, they still do around 1,000 to 2,000, and that's per hit. When it crits. So again, if the lower your crit rate, the less you're going to have that consistent popping off of damage. But if you have a decent crit rate and an even better crit damage multiplier on your base character, then these auto attacks, even though they're not high multipliers, are still going to smash because of just your innately high crit damage. And then that means, as you guys can see here, all of the stats like marginally increase. Like his first attack, it's 37% damage modifier. It's not good. It's not that good at all. But if you go all the way down to the bottom, low and high plunge damage is increased by 238 to 297 damage. Oh my god, is that absolutely ludicrous? That multiplier is something that you can proc every second, like boom, boom, boom. And there's some stuff that we're going to go over where you can actually cancel this to make it so that you get the low modifier way faster than the high modifier, and that actually ends up being more worth it. Which is crazy. Just crazy. So yes, Xiao can be like a main DPS even outside of his alt form. But we'll get into that in a little minute. But that's my first question I was kind of wondering about. It was like, is it even worth leveling this up? Because like I know his plunge damage is going to get increased, but like are his base attacks are going to be they're going to be shittier, right? No, because the way you build him generally is with crit damage and crit rate. More crit damage than crit rate is what you're looking for. But Xiao also has one other problem that is huge, and I'm sure you guys can put it together if you've seen some of his videos. People massively, except for me, I lucked out immensely, people are massively suffering from a single problem with Xiao, and that is not having enough energy recharge. This is huge. So many people are just very, like, I don't know, I find like, yeah, they're able to do like 40 damage, but it still takes them a good while to get it back into their Xiao's alt form. So he weirdly becomes like a side DPS, or like a secondary DPS, where you can switch to him, pop off, and then switch back. But if you're like me, you don't want to do that. You want to keep Xiao popping off in the whole possible way. Now, like I said, if you build him for pretty good crit damage, and by the way, my stats are absolutely trash, super not good, just to let you know. If you get 150 to 160 crit damage, that's huge. If you can get 160 crit rate, again, huge, but I'm not that lucky. Anyways, energy recharge is massive. Energy recharge allows you to back-to-back somewhat into your ult. So maybe not back-to-back, but they allow you to purposefully get back to your ult within a couple seconds after it ends, which is huge. Now, again, if you have other characters that just make a shit ton of particles, like Bennett can quickly smash with his E, and then you switch to Xiao and he'll suck up the red particles, but just because he's absorbing them, he still gets a pretty decent bump, even though they're not animo. It's still worth it. So there's characters like that. Same thing with Fischl. Fischl, every single time Oz hits something, it gives you a particle, so that can kind of be really good as well. So yeah. Now you might be wondering, well, Green, what are you rocking? Not that good of artifacts, my dude. It is what it is. We have a decent amount of attack, but not much of anything else. Now, yes, we are running the Gladiator set because when I like the notion of being able to actually melee with him rather than just basically being okay when you're in your ult, and then outside of that, you're a baby. I hate that aspect of that. So I kind of like to nullify that right now, but just because of the nature of Gladiator sets and how rare they are to get a decent one, it's probably more optimal and more efficient to go with 2-piece Animo, 2-piece Gladiator, or Viridescent, and then Gladiator, just because that way you're able to actually specifically farm for one of those sets every single day rather than every single week to boss encounter. Yeah, so that's what it is. But I do notice again with like I have really shitty substats. Like again, I don't have that good of crit rate. I don't have that good of crit damage. But because I have that the Gladiator set, my base attacks are actually pretty okay. Like they hit for around 2,000, but he hits so fast that if you get those like happening consistently, then you just smash something into the dust. As of his constellations, I don't think any of them are useful. The only one that kind of looks dope is his first one and his bottom one, but the more I think about the bottom one, I think I might have been jumping the gun because you need to hit 2 enemies in order to actually activate this, and yeah, it looks really cool and flashy, but as of power, you only really need that much damage when you're fighting bosses. So this is something that can make Spiral Abyss pretty easy, but outside of every other thing that could be used for damage, it kind of seems like it's undervalued. Same thing as like again, Genu Unleash, her kind of last constellation made it so that you could like do a lot more damage in a lot smaller of a time frame. If you were to back and use her E's, giving her more burst potential, that makes sense. That was good anywhere. This is good specifically when you have to hit 2 enemies at once with a plunge damage. In case you don't know that, basically you activate your ult, you do a death from above, you jump and smash, and then if you hit 2 enemies, you get basically you can infinitely use your E. For like a 0.1 of a second, but that allows you to hit like E 3 times, and then you still recharge one of your E's. So you can technically do like 4 or something. It's kind of wild. Anyways, it's just a good thing. The only one that I wish was lower down the line is this Bane of All Evil, but because Bane of All Evil, which upgrades your ult, is all the way down here. And also, it doesn't get massive scaling. Like if you look at like the progression cycle of it, it gets good, but not like crazy. It doesn't get to like. I think you're gonna break 120 when you just normally, and it'll go to like 130 when you have this or something. So it doesn't scale as crazy as you might think. Or at least that's what I've seen. Now, something that just blows my mind is how actually this works. And I think it's just because I haven't had a skill that has double cooldown. I thought this whole thing would be relatively like a cool movement ability. This thing comes back pretty damn fast because it immediately goes on cooldown when you stop using it. So if I do this, there's another one that like immediately is on cooldown. So I just noticed that I always kind of have these more than I thought I would. So the cooldown is weird. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. In fact, it's pretty chill. And also you get a shit ton of animal particles for using one of those. So if you don't want to use like a Venti or something, then you can just probably use Xiao as long as you have enough energy recharge. If you don't have enough energy recharge, then of course this is kind of redundant and I'm barking up the tree, I guess. But yeah, as of weapons for Xiao, that's where things get a little fucky because this isn't that good for Xiao because you need like actual damage. Or you don't need physical damage. He's not a physical damage character. He is like an elemental recharge, which is huge for him, or a high base attack weapon, which this happens to be both. So this is like a really good weapon for him, or just an attack variant. So instead of basic attack, it does more attack and a percentage increase based on whatever. So that's also really good. I don't know where those ones are. Yeah, see, like, again, it says attack percentage increase. So there's a couple weapons out in the world, and I think that's his signature weapon is actually that same thing, where it increases your base attack percentage rather than energy recharge or physical damage increase. But with that being said, if you want to make Xiao your main DPS, energy recharge is such an undervalued stat. It is so huge. So yeah, we've covered his basic attacks. That was something I wasn't sure about how it was going to actually work. Is it worth investing? Like, is basically this shows that the only thing of value is his plunge attacks? Not exactly, no. It's still worth doing his plunge attacks. But it's also still worth doing his medium attacks, of course, like just his base attack. You can run him as a DPS outside of his ult if you have enough crit damage. And even if you don't, he hits so fast that it's just, you'll see things just melt eventually, you know? Anyways, again, this thing I thought was going to be way like less amazing. It's fantastic. It also hits for like 13,000 because of the way you build Xiao is for animo damage. I probably should have went over that too. The stats in like the most important to like least important is going to be crit damage. Crit damage is the most valued stat I think you can have on one of your cups or on one of your items. The second thing is going to be crit rate, and then the third thing is going to be energy recharge. Everything else is kind of just icing on the cake. If you want more attack percentage, sure, that's okay. Yeah, like this one I got is pretty okay. It's energy recharge plus mostly attack percentage, but it's also a cup. It's an animal cup, which is fucking rare as shit, because to get a cup that's not just trash. Okay. So yeah, and as of its like overarching things, you want to go for attack percentage, animo damage, of course, and then you want to either go for crit rate or crit damage, but I would highly advise crit damage. Again, the most optimal build seems to be how much crit rate can you get in your substats in all of these, and then just put a damage cup on them and you're good to go. But with that being said though, if you get lucky in the opposite way where you get like a crit rate that just keeps pumping itself into, crit damage into your stats, then you would just switch to crit rate to kind of like balance out and etc. But yes, as you guys can see, my items are weird. Like I got this one's not that bad. This one's actually like the least shit the one that I have. This one solid. I got crit damage, 21 damage, not the worst. I also got 5% crit or like energy recharge and attack. It's not bad. It would be nice if it went into like, this one's not bad. Again, I kept going into crit rate. I changed my mind with this. But yes, all of my things are pretty good, except I just need a little bit more crit rate. And unfortunately, I think I've burned all my bridges at this point. I don't think I can. This one's 20. This one might, if we can just go into crit rate, I'd be pretty jazzed. This one, if it can go, this one's max. I don't have a very good crit, like, I don't have a good helmet yet. Crit rate I could make up on my helmet if I happen to get one with crit damage and crit rate, or vice versa. That would be absolutely sick. And I think I would change off and actually give him not gladiator sets. Instead, I would give him the whole animo set. So yes, that is what it is, my friends. And last but not least, this. This is the whole bread and butter. This is as amazing as you'd think. And again, the only reason why I'm not leveling up these even more is because right now I just kind of feel like it's a lot. Like, I'm sorry to say, but it's like almost too much. Like, you're just smashing the shit out of things, and I'm kind of just like, I don't want to like melee once and then be done. I kind of like the notion of being able to hit and shit, if that makes any sense. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I've talked your guys' ear off enough about Xiao base stats, and hopefully I cut some of that stuff out. I want to actually go show you guys what he can do. Now, this is the domain that I kind of like showing off, even though it has a physical damage increase. So we will go to other places just in the actual world level, which is world level 7. The one thing that I think is going to make and break so many builds for Xiao, and I don't think people are talking about it as much, but so many YouTubers go for like high crit damage, and it's awesome. But you're not going to be able to get back into your character as fast as you are going to like want, and it kind of seems like a stupid thing. You need enough recharge to actually make it so that you can, like, I have enough recharge right now with Xiao that I probably could run him without Venti, which is awesome. It's awesome. It sounds amazing. And yeah, but also having Xiao and Venti is pretty fantastic. So by the way, if you change off of your characters, like right now I already have my alt, and I'm just going to do death from above. Again, having Venti's alt back to back would be nice because they all group up, and right now they kind of have that problem where they don't. But right there we hit for 7,000. That's our low end. 7,000, 7,000. Why the heck aren't we hitting for more? There we go, 14,000. There was one right there, 14,000. That's what we usually hit for. Sometimes you get really unlucky. But because I have Venti and him on the same team, I can do things like this, which is fantastic, and it kind of fixes one of his problems. Also, I can dash through those people and get my ult back, basically, again, making me be able to like choose when I need to use my ult. So yeah, again, even if I didn't have Venti, it would still be nuts. So again, you guys are seeing the numbers. It's kind of hard to see. 7 again. 16, there we go. 16 is when it finally crits. 17 when it finally crits. So again, it just feels like I'm so used to playing Razor, who feels just different. And again, because I killed some things with Xiao, I got all my abilities back faster. I also want to do this. I also want to, yeah, I get it. Let's do one of those. And we're gonna go back to you and see. I have my ult back again. So yeah, this is what I like. Yes, I'm not doing 40,000, but I'm doing 15,000 and 16,000, and I can always have my ability, so I can constantly stay in this like berserker state. You know what I mean? And it's just, yeah, like, there's a value to that, to having enough recharge. I think I might have too much because like. Oh, I don't want to do that. I already beat this thing. Or I want to. We're streaming this game tonight on Friday, so I want to make sure I have material to actually buy stuff with you guys. Anyways, but yeah, I think that's such a thing that's undervalued. Is that like I'm pretty sure we could try it, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be able to get like Xiao's thing on max, like instantly. His cooldown, almost right after use. I may have to like do a little bit, like I may have to re-shield with Zhongli, and that could kind of help. But yes. But also, him and Venti just meld so well together, because you guys could see in the beginning when I was starting to use Xiao, the enemies just sometimes don't clump up together, and it really makes your death from above kind of like annoying. So Sucrose or him is amazing. In fact, Sucrose, well, I don't know. I don't think it's kind of a weird sentence, but I don't think Sucrose has as much suck as Venti, okay? Because Venti, pulls people from miles away, and I don't know if Sucrose does that. I know she does have a kind of a similar type thing. Oh wait, no, I wanted it. Okay, well, we're gonna have to quickly burn our ult. And right there, we have our ult within 2 of those dashes. Which, by the way, yes, you can like hold off using your dashes, but it doesn't seem to be incredibly useful. Also, again, we're hitting for 16,000. And also, this is not bad if I can hit. See, 3,000, but you're hitting so fast. 3,000, 3,000, 1,000. We're out of our ult. That's why we're getting shit on a little bit. We're going to do one of those. We're going to hit Xiao with that. He's going to heal up. All right, we still have our ult. I kind of don't want that. All right, we're going to do one of those. We are going to cancel. All right, can you not? Can you please not? All right, so now we have 0 of our ability back. If we do that, we get 2 particles. Oh, you son of a bitch! Anyways, that's unfortunate. Also, one of the things you can do is this, and then switch to your character, and when that pulsates, that has a chance of giving me a particle, like right there. So if you're wielding a character, you're going to be taking their particles from them. So there's an animal particle, but because I'm playing as Xiao, I'm gaining energy with him more than I would Zhongli. Anyways, so again, we have both of our charges back. Boom, and boom, and now I think we have our ult. Ooh, we're so close. So damn close. Oh, we got our ult, see? Yeah. So it is one of those things. Ooh, we might be a little bit too close to the sun, the Licorice. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. Also, that dash does a shit ton of damage. Run me! Too much. Too much. We're playing stupid. This is not the build that I had. Also, can you stop going into your fucking berserk stance, you wretched bitch? God damn you. Also, I can't see how much actual damage we're dealing. I think that was 10,000 damage. So one of these dashes is 10,000 damage, which is insane. Especially considering, guess what level this is? Where is it? This talent is level 1. And it's doing stupid damage. Like, I think it's doing like 10,000 per dash through an enemy. So not only that, not only you're like smashing the shit out of enemies with just that utility ability, but also you're gaining a shit ton of energy back. And again, I think that's a build that could also maybe work, because if you happen to get really lucky in your substats to just get a shit ton of attack, and you just want to get instead of attack percentage watch, you want to get a recharge one. That I don't think would be the worst either, but you do want a lot of attack. So yeah, but with that being said though, you also want a ton of animo particle damage, so that also makes a difference. Anyways, let's run around the world space and just try to go kill some enemies. Let's go fight some treasure hunters, those are pretty good. And again, we're going to be using Venti to group them up, just to make things faster, although you can, like I've showed you, just run around and melee someone with your animo stance. In fact, I think if you have the animo viridescent set, I'm not sure if it's better, because right now my normal attacks are getting buffed by Gladiator, but the animo damage is pretty solid. And it is also dependent on how much I level up that one ability. So, yeah. But also, running him with Venti or any sort of animo person is just kind of icing on the cake. You know, like we already have our ult. We're going to use Venti to group them up. This is going to be excessively overkill. We're going to be doing this. We're going to do Death from Aboves. And the range on that is so good that it's going to hit them even though they're in the air. And dead. And dead. I think actually they were a little bit too high to where like it weirdly couldn't hit them, but most of the time, no, almost all the time, that was a weird case. That was a weird case. There's some baddies right here. We're gonna use Venti to get us going. We're gonna switch to Xiao so we actually absorb those animo particles from him or with him. Oh, also I should have mentioned that. One of the things that's equally as amazing is Venti has the sacrificial bow essentially. Also, just die. Has the sacrificial bow, so whenever apparently when you activate your like E, it counts as a hit, which counts to activate his weapon special effect, which is on critical hit. There's a 60% chance for you to generate 6 particles, and they're not necessarily animo particles, they're just particles, so any character that you're actually wielding will get that benefit. So if you happen to run Venti in like super CC mode like I am, then you can kind of just do that. Anyways, let me show you Xiao without all that kind of stuff and just him on a passive in terms of his damage. So let's put a shield on just so we're extra safe. And yeah, again, we're doing not that good damage. When we finally start critting, we're doing 1,000 to 2,000 damage, which is happening incredibly fast. Again, it's just about when we finally get that crit damage, and it's kind of hard to see because there's so much shit. But see, again, you see 2,000, 1,000. 1,000, but it's happening so fast. 1,000, 2,000. Occasionally we'll get like 5,000 when it doesn't, or 500 when it doesn't crit, which may seem pretty bad. But yeah, again, 1,000, 2,000. We can dash 1,000. That was 10,000 hit with our one thing. We're not the strongest, so we should heal. We should do one of these.
Orders received.
We should do one of these. No, I want to do this. Get my things mixed up a little bit. We're gonna melee you with this, so Xiao can heal up. Also, we just did an animo thing, so we're gonna spread the fire around. Perfect. Again, 1,000, 2,000, but it's happening so fast. So yeah, I'm used to playing Razor, who can hit for sometimes like 7,000, but it's because we're hitting so quickly and in such a flurry that it's just it ends up being more. It's a quicker kill, right? Because it's like higher fire rate but less damage. But the fire rate's so insane, and there's no negative, there's no ammunition. So there's no negative to actually hitting that hard. Boom. But again, on the low end, you do hit for pretty low, but that's why you want to get your crit rate higher and your crit damage even higher. So yeah, that's kind of the weird balance there. But also, Xiao is a baby. Xiao is a glass cannon. He cannot get hit that much. 2,000, 3,000. Look at that. Boom. Again, like you'll see again, it's kind of my favorite thing because you're sitting there and you'll see like a bunch of low damage numbers, but then you'll see that random you'll hit for like 3,000 damage and just pop off in a huge way. So you'll notice that an enemy just is getting like kind of smashed a little bit, and then like watch their health. Boom, 4,000. You know what I mean? Like you still just blitz people down. So if you just watch their health, whenever you do get those crits, it's just like gone immediately. And I don't have his things even that leveled up. Imagine when you start leveling up his base multipliers, like how huge that's going to be. And also when I start leveling up this, like we're doing like a 10,000 damage per dash right now. Imagine when that's leveled up, it's gonna do like probably 20,000 when it's around levels like 8. Which it's gonna be huge. Oh, I didn't want to aggro you. Anyways, we're gonna do this, and always make sure after you use Venti's E like that, you switch to Xiao. Even though you don't, yeah, I already have his ult, but that's how you regenerate energy really quickly, and of course he died. I thought he was still there. So yeah, I'm in the weird place where it just seems like things die almost too fast, to where I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to do. It just seems like a lot, like maybe too much. But one thing I wanted to see was with Geo resonance buffs, I think that could be pretty huge. So if we put Albedo here,
let's investigate this further.
I miss you, Venti. But yeah, yeah. What do you call it? I think it still should be good. Let's try that because there's like a massive benefit to having two Geo people in your party. You know, I'm sure you guys know about it. It's like Geo resonance, huge, absolutely massive. Let's we have a shield. We have a shield. Let's do this. I just want to see what the damage difference is. 8,000. So we were doing 7,000. Jesus Christ! Thank you for the boost. Oh, I didn't show you guys this thing. Okay, so you attack, you jump, you attack, you jump, and then you melee, and then you jump again, like that. I'm not doing it properly. Okay, I forgot. We gotta show you guys that. So there's this thing if you want to hyper, be like amazing with this character. What you can do? Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. You see, we got her all just as fast, but no, except we didn't kill that many enemies. So yeah, again, I think my energy recharge. I don't need Venti. But I kind of like Venti. But yeah, I think this is perfectly good. Like, we're good to go in terms of Xiao, which I have my ult, so I guess I should show you guys right now. I don't need enemies. Enemies maybe make it harder to see. So there's something with Xiao where you can do if you want to be the most optimal. So for Razor, it was melee, 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 and on his third melee, you would either use your E, or if it was on cooldown, you would jump, or you would dash. And then you would start meleeing again, so you would do that to like cancel out of his combo, right? So for Xiao, because it's plunge, you can actually cancel it and it ends up being more damage. So the scaling, you'll just have to trust me, it ends up being better. So what this is you activate your ult, you melee once, and then you do your plunge. And then you repeat that. So it's melee, plunge, melee, plunge, melee, plunge. But the thing is you need to be really quick. And of course, he's a fast character by nature. So you have to be really fast about meleeing before you do your plunge every single time. Like that. And again, when you're in the air, that's when you need to hit O twice. So it's almost like melee, jump, O, melee, O, jump, mo. I'll try to show you guys. I only have one opportunity to really do it, so let's try.
Worthless. Worthless. Worthless.
I'm not that fast. Like that.
Worthless.
Like that, exactly. Like you'll see that I'm hitting O at his perfect apex to where I actually can hit down. Other times I go a little too high. Sorry, real quick, this is just for me. I want to test if, well, Geo Resonance is huge, but is it better than like Venti? But I also I'm one of the weird people who actually, like, my substats rolled on energy recharge rather than crit damage and crit rate so much. So my damage is a little less inconsistent, but I'm always able to get to my ult, I think, typically faster than most. Which should be awesome. Also, I imagine the swirl bonuses will be huge for him. Yeah, we'll do this. I didn't mean to do that. I'm gonna do this. Oh, I should have collected your resource with that. Anyways, we'll do this. Also, why didn't I fucking, I'm the worst. This. 3,000 damage right there, 4,000 when we're shielded, 3,000 damage, 2,000 damage, okay. Yeah, I don't even see us doing low-end damage anymore when we're shielded. Again, for those guys who do not know, Geo Resonance is popping off in a big way. Or Elemental Resonance, sorry. But there's Enduring Rock. When your shields have greater strength. Additionally, when protected by a shield, damage dealt. Not your base attack damage, but this is everything. Not only that, but every single time you deal damage, they reduce Geo resistance. So if you have an Albedo, that's gonna be massive. And yeah, so I think this may be better than Venti, even though I love Venti CC. And it sucks that there's not, like, again, there's Nin Wong. Actually, Nin Wong might be a really good substitute for Zhongli. But his shield's not as OP, you know what I mean? But if I'm shielded, just want to double check, and I'm playing Xiao. Yeah, we're hitting for almost 4,000 now while shielded, just because of Geo Resonance, and that's not even them taking, like, if I were to put Albedo here, like one of these, and then we're switch to this. Yeah, 2,000 or 3,000 if I could still do my dash and immediately kill him. Like, oh, also it's all damage, so even my, like, Animo dash is getting buffed because I'm shielded. Oh my golly, look at us go. Hey, all of you, including you. Come on, come into the death zone. Also, I haven't used my ult yet, so let's use this. Let's do this, because I need to heal up. Let's do this, even though nothing might survive after this. My bad. This. Yeah, because I'm shielded, every damage I'm doing is increased. So yeah, normally we do like 2,000, 3,000. Now we're doing 5,000 per hit, which is huge, and that's not even counting the dash thing. Ah! I was hoping I'd have enough. We can get our thing back pretty fast. Again, especially if I'm doing stuff like this. Each one of those has a chance of giving me geoparticles, which can be huge. See, I already have my ult. Again, like it's just because of my recharge is enough. What damage do I deal here? Please crit! 3,000, not a crit. Oh, I'm not shielded either. I'm a dum-dum. There's not any crystals? No. We're not getting the buff, so it's pointless. I'm the best at this. Don't look at me. All right, the best you've ever seen. Some of this. Some of this. Give me all the particles, goddamn you. Drop a hammer, just cuz. Please don't tell me. Okay, you went there. All right, we're gonna do one of these. Stop it. Stop. Switch to this guy. Give me some elemental resonance. Boom. Give me this. Give me my ult back. All right, here we go. Let's do this. I can't see it. It's so hard. 22,000, and I have nothing built. I don't even have my artifacts fully leveled up. Look at us go. Absolute. Was that 30? I don't know what I just seen. Of course, you have a shield, and it's really, somehow, really fucking. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, mother of God. Let's do this just to get rid of your stupid shield, you wretch. Let's do one of these. And of course, we're just gonna do that and do this. Give me my ult back. I have my ult back. Again, ult recharge is perfectly sweet and sound. Also, again, just to double check, we're gonna do one of these. We're gonna do one of these. Show me the money! I can see it. 8,000. 8,000 on a bad day. 8,000 on a bad day, but it was hitting for like 20 when I was in Albedo's ult, and also Albedo was getting amplified geo damage because we were in his area of influence, which was causing damage to every enemy and causing them to hit. Also, it's like AOE. Oh man, if only there was, I don't know. Zhongli is kind of the weird one in this. If you had Nin Wong, well, so again, we need a way to pull in enemies, and that's Venti, but then we need a way to heal ourselves. Complicated. Complicated nonsense. But needless to say, this is actually a really good combo too. Zhongli and Albedo in place of Venti. But again, when like if I do get buffs that don't give me, well, no, my energy recharge is mostly coming from my weapon, which also happens to give me crit rate and stuff like that. So that's why I love it so much. But yeah, again, energy recharge is huge. Like I've never gotten into an encounter where I don't just like do my base stuff like this, boom, boom. And now I have both particles, and then I do this, and then I do this. Sorry, sorry, Albedo, and then I do this, and then I switch back to you, and then I can use more of your animo, and then I'm basically back to full. I mean, if I'm not, I can just easily melee some more. And then give me a sec, give me 1 minute, and let it land, and I got my ult back, just like that. Ult back, can smash if I want. So I'm kind of doing it there, although if I was just, yeah, see, like you don't want to take off at all. And the reason why is because when you jump high up in the air and then you come down, that actually takes a lot longer than doing the melee jump and then melee, quickly smashing to the ground. Weird, like again, you don't have to go that hard into the analytics, again, especially not when we're dealing so much damage, like takes the difference between 0.1 second to a second. Chill out. You know, I get it, it's just, yeah. But needless to say, this is a solid DPS, like insanely solid. I don't know even what to say because it's just kind of like, okay, hot damn, that is a lot. Okay, Jesus Christ. But, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to make another video when I finally do, and I can do it right now. Well, actually, no, I can't. I need to bring him to level 90 first, which I'm pretty close to doing. All I need to do is farm the Geo thing, which is, I gotta farm him a lot, like a lot, which sucks. But when I finally can do that, then I can even take his thing to the max level, and that's going to be kind of silly, I think, at that point. Yeah. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you guys do enjoy the rest of your day. This has been immensely fun. I will say this is also quite costly to level these things up, so yeah, that's another negative, but we'll see. I don't know how. I think I probably will invest quite heavily into him because, again, like, this is what I wanted, but this is also almost too much of what I kind of thought I was getting into. I did not think I was gonna get this much damage. Like, I knew he was the main DPS, but like, yeah, I'm just not used to things dying this fast. Usually I have to play Razor and like hit him a couple times, but it happened like he attacks so quickly and they're just like done, gone. Oh wow, that killed you? That does how much? Oh my god. Okay. Well, shit. Jesus. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, I would love to know what you guys think about him. If I'm missing anything, I do think the Viridescent set probably would work better with him. And also, again, there's an argument for just how optimal you can actually be when actually grinding for that set opposed to the Gladiator set. But do mind you, the set that I was using was the Gladiator set, so that's why my basic attacks were actually hitting pretty hard. But that's the thing, I don't think... if your plunge damage does such high damage, especially when mine's at level 6, if you're able to get that even a little bit higher, it's going to be even doing even more plunge damage. So I think you can make up the damage difference there rather than making up the damage difference by taking away damage from your just running around situation. Like running around dealing damage, you're gonna do nothing until you get your ult. Now, yes, it is easy to get your ult if you have enough recharge, but I still think it's best to kind of try to even the playing field because you don't need that much damage for a lot of the game unless you want to just hit say hi and then things die all around you, then walk away. I would like to actually use mechanics to some extent, but maybe that's the testament of a good build where you just don't have to do anything anymore. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. Hope you guys do enjoy the rest of your day. Subscribe button to my right as well as 2 videos further that way. Thank you for your time and goodbye.